Hey friend, good morning. It is Saturday, February 4th, 2023. I was not planning to go live this morning, but I was up here. I've been getting up at 5 every morning now for about a week and a half, and I didn't even set my alarm clock this morning. Saturday is the only morning that I don't have to get up to an alarm clock normally, so I didn't set my alarm clock last night. I did get my 6 hours of sleep, which is my sleep goal. And I woke up at essentially 5 o'clock. I think maybe it was, when I looked at the clock, it was like 5:04 maybe. So Jordan Peterson talks about the importance of waking up the same time every day. It's that if you don't, it affects your circadian rhythm and how that can lead to anxiety and things like that, which I deal with. I deal with anxiety and things like that. So one thing that has really helped my anxiety is doing this YouTube channel, because I feel like this is something, it's something I have felt like I should be doing for a while now. It's something I've been planning to do for years, and when we feel like we should be doing something but we're not doing it, it kind of eats us alive from the inside out. And that's what was happening with me. And so I wasn't doing I don't know. There's some mixed feelings there, because I also feel like God's timing is perfect, but I also think that, this is something I should be doing. It's my life passion. I'm super passionate about life and what matters most. And another thing I'm passionate about is YouTube. I love YouTube. I listen to YouTube every single day. So I love listening to speakers and life motivation and ways of doing better in life and things like that. So that's my passion. Part of my goal here with Finding Life is to live my life to the best of my ability and help others do the same. So to me, I'm here every morning. Proverbs 8:35 says, wisdom says, whoever finds me finds life. So to me, God's word is the foundation of finding life, and everything else is built on top of that, all the practical things for finding life. Like we have to do our part. Like in Genesis, God tells us to subdue the earth. Like we're supposed to take control, take ownership. We have to do our part. One time when I was driving home in high school, I was super tired one night. And I was like dozing off. I was driving down this curvy country road back to my home. It was super late, maybe 1 a.m. or something. And I was really sleepy. And as I was driving home, it was like I kept kind of like coming back into consciousness. And I would be like, I don't even remember like those last 3 curves I just did. But I was still on the road. And, Carrie Underwood says, Jesus, take the wheel. Well, that's what I said that night. I was like, Jesus, take the wheel. I'm so tired. I'm just going to let go. And you know what happened when I let go? When I said, Jesus, just get me home. I ended up in the ditch. Because we have to do our part. So, we have to do our part. So, God, I think he has plans for us, but God doesn't bless laziness, and we have to do our part. So we have to figure out what our part is and do it. Look at my on-air light yesterday. I don't know if you noticed yesterday, the batteries were almost dead, and it was dim. I put new batteries in it after the show yesterday, and now it's so bright you can hardly even read it. But I don't have one of those fancy cameras where it makes me in focus and everything in the background out of focus, but I guess it kind of, maybe it almost looks like that today. Last night we had our neighbors over for dinner. Isn't it weird how we can be neighbors with people for years and years and years and hardly ever know them? And so, me and Bobby are striving to live life more intentionally. And so she invited our neighbors over. So shout out to Jacob, Elise, and Luke, who came over for dinner last night. We just ordered some pizza, and it was our first time having them over and just getting to know them a little bit. So community is big. Yeah, I wasn't planning on going live this morning, but I woke up at 5. I came up here into the studio and I was journaling and I was reading today's word, and I just really wanted to share it. I just feels kind of weird to be up, to be here in the studio, to be reading God's word, and to not be sharing it with you. So I'm going to share it with you right now. All right. This is in Matthew. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! For you shut the door of the kingdom of heaven in people's faces. You won't go in yourselves, and you don't let others enter either. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! For you cross land and sea to make one convert, and then you turn that person into twice the child of hell you yourselves are. This is some pretty bold teaching this morning. Blind guides, what sorrow awaits you? For you say that it means nothing to swear by God's temple, but that it is binding to swear by the gold in the temple. Blind fools, which is more important, the gold or the temple that makes the gold sacred? And you say that to swear by the altar is not binding, but to swear by the gifts on the altar is binding. How blind! For which is more important, the gift on the altar or the altar that makes the gift sacred? When you swear by the altar, you are swearing by it and everything on it. And when you swear by the temple, you are swearing by it and by God, who lives in it. And when you swear by heaven, you are swearing by the throne of God and by God who sits on the throne. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are careful to tithe even the tiniest income from your herb gardens, but you ignore the more important aspects of the law: justice, mercy, and faith. You should tithe, yes, but do not neglect the more important things. Blind guides, you strain your water so you won't accidentally swallow a gnat, but you swallow a camel. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are so careful to clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside you are filthy, full of greed and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisee, first wash the inside of the cup and the dish, and then the outside will become clean too. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are like whitewashed tombs, beautiful on the outside, but filled on the inside with dead people's bones and all sorts of impurity. Outwardly, you look righteous. Outwardly, you look like righteous people, but inwardly, your hearts are filled with hypocrisy and lawlessness. Just a little interjection here. It says, I've read in the Word, it says, we see people's outsides, but God sees the heart. And it's easy for us to look at someone and judge them, but we can't know their heart. No matter what they look like on the outside, whether they look good or bad, it doesn't matter. It doesn't tell us the condition of their heart, whether they look good or bad on the outside. We can't tell that. Only God can tell that. And so it's just something important to remember. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! For you build tombs for the prophets your ancestors killed, and you decorate the monuments of the godly people your ancestors destroyed. Then you say, if we had lived in the days of our ancestors, we would never have joined them in killing the prophets. But in saying that, you testify against yourselves, and you are indeed the descendants of those who murdered the prophets. Go ahead and finish what your ancestors started. Snakes, sons of vipers, will you escape the judgment of hell? Therefore I am sending you prophets and wise men and teachers of religious law. But you will kill some by crucifixion. You will flog others with whips in your synagogues, chasing them from city to city. As a result, you will be held responsible for the murder of all godly people of all time, from the murder of righteous Abel to the murder of Zechariah, son of Berechiah, whom you killed in the temple between the sanctuary and the altar. I tell you the truth, this judgment will fall on this very generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones God's messengers. How often I have wanted to gather your children together as a hen protects her chicks beneath her wings, but you wouldn't let me. And now look, your house is abandoned and desolate. For I tell you this, you will never see me again until you say, blessings on the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Today's Psalm. I pray to you, O Lord, my rock. Do not turn a deaf ear to me, for if you are silent, I might as well give up and die. Listen to my prayer for mercy as I cry out to you for help. As I lift my hands towards you and towards your holy sanctuary, do not drag me away with the wicked and those who do evil, those who speak friendly words to their neighbors while planning evil in their hearts. Give them the punishment they so richly deserve. Measure it out in proportion to their wickedness. Pay them back for all their evil deeds. Give them a taste of what they have done to others. They care nothing for what the Lord has done, or for what his hands have made, so he will tear them down, and they will never be rebuilt. Praise the Lord, for he has heard my cry for mercy. The Lord is my strength and shield. I trust him with all my heart. He helps me, and my heart is filled with joy. I burst out in songs of thanksgiving. The Lord gives his people strength. He is a safe fortress for his anointed king. Save your people. Bless Israel, your special possession. Lead them like a shepherd and carry them in your arms forever. Proverbs. Follow my advice, my son. Always treasure my commands. Obey my commands and live. Guard my instructions as you guard your own eyes. Tie them on your fingers as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Love wisdom like a sister. Make insight a beloved member of your family. Let them protect you from an affair with an immoral woman, from listening to the flattery of a promiscuous woman. Some say the eyes are the windows to the soul. Protect your eyes. All right. That's today's reading for February 4th, 2023. It's Saturday. Happy Saturday. I love Saturdays. It's like I said, it's the only day I don't have to get up and go anywhere. And so it's my most independent free day of the week. So hopefully you get some freedom and independence as well. I got a note here. I've been wanting to share this at some point. My job has been very stressful and overwhelming the last, well, at least for the last year. I was planning to start this YouTube channel January 2022. And then at the turn of the year, our company is short-staffed and my workload doubled. And so at my job, I've been doing the job of 2 full-time employees for over the past year. And so my job was already stressful and overwhelming, and then it doubled last January. And so I was like, it was just like, Zig Ziglar talks about getting cooked in the squat, where we just like, we plan on starting and we'll do it when this happens. We keep putting it off. Things keep coming up, like, well, I'll wait till, like, I don't know, just here recently, I wanted to start it in January last year, and then all that happened with work, and I was like, okay, there's no way I can do it right now. And then, like, I'm always like figuring out when I'm gonna, I wanted to go live every morning, and I was like, well, maybe I should record at night because, my hair's already fixed and my eyes aren't baggy, or maybe they are, they're old and wrinkly, but in the morning they're puffy, and I'm just like, my eyes won't be puffy in the morning. My hair's already fixed, but then I come home from work and I'm just like mentally and physically exhausted, and I can't even think straight. And so like, no, the morning's definitely the best time. I think the most clearly in the morning, and my head's clear in the morning. And so, but anyway, it was just like, I wanted to do it last January, and then everything happened with that, and I pushed it off, and then I was like, it just kept things like Zig Ziglar talks about, things just kept coming up, then you wait till after summer, then you wait till the kids go back to school, then you wait till after the holidays, then January 1st, and then this space wasn't available January 1st, so then okay, and it's just like, and I've been wanting to start it come to a point where I was like, all right, January 2023, I do not want to put it off any longer. And so I almost missed January. It was January 30th when I started recording, my first day of recording, January 30th, and I wasn't really prepared, and I didn't really have everything ready that I wanted, and it would have been easy to just continue to kick it down the road, and I was just like, nope, I can't do it. It's killing me. It's eating me alive from the inside, and so even though I wasn't ready, even though I wasn't as prepared as I wanted to, I went ahead and started, and I'm glad that I did. It's really helped. I promise you, living in congruence with who you're supposed to be brings you joy. When you live the life you're supposed to live, it brings you the greatest joy. So figure that out. What are you supposed to be doing? What are you supposed to be doing with your life? And maybe you're already on track. That's great. But if you're not, I want to do everything I can to help you. But anyway, one day, the whole point of that was, one day I came in from work, and I was completely, work was like, I was just so overwhelmed, and just came home, like I said, mentally exhausted. And we got a letter from, actually, it's a female who is in prison. And she had sent us a letter. And in that letter, she had put this in here for me. And it was perfect timing, and it was such a great note of encouragement, and so I've always kept it. I mean, it was just like 6 months ago maybe that I got this, so it's not like I've held on to it for 15 years. But and it says, I'll show it to you here. It says, always remember that your present situation is your present situation. I'm gonna add a couple words in here. Always remember that your present situation is your present situation. It is not your final destination. The best is yet to come. And that is an important reminder if we're going through difficult or challenging times. No matter if something is good or bad, it will not last forever. I don't want to be discouraging, so let me just focus back on the encouraging side of that. If we're going through hard or challenging times, it won't last forever. Always remember that your present situation is your present situation. It is not your final destination. The best is always yet to come. All right. Hope you have a great Saturday. I wasn't planning on recording on the weekends. I was always planning just doing Monday through Friday morning live at 6. But we shall see what tomorrow holds. Tomorrow's Sunday. I don't know if I'll be here or not. We will see. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.